Welcome to day 2. We got a great day planned for you guys today. We're going to keep with the theme of alternating between a little more arms, a little more legs, and working different parts of the same muscle. So just like we mentioned yesterday, get ready to start with some jumping jacks. We're going to do about a minute of jumping jacks. Again, if you want to do some easy running or go for a nice walk, that's also an option, but you always want to warm up before you start. Let's get right into it and do some jumping jacks. 1 minute of jumping jacks and go. Today's plan, we're going to start with some shoulders. Then we're going to work on our core muscles, following by some calf raises, and finishing it off with some more core muscles, but this time our back. Yesterday we did a lot of abs. We did some of our upper abs and obliques. Today we're going to work different abs, more obliques, and our backs with our supporting our abs also. It's important to work two muscles of the same body part, like your abs and back, because there's a tension pulling between them and you want to keep them balanced at all times. We're going to talk a little bit more of that later on. Shake it off and let's get right into our first exercise. We're going to start with a shoulder sequence. Now it's very important that you watch the video closely and do exactly as I'm doing, because this is a very precise exercise that works your shoulder muscles. So start with your arms straight out to the side, bring your hands forward into a surrender position and up. And we're going to bring our arms down with the exact opposite. Watch it again. Here we go. Arms straight up to the sides, hands forward, hands up in the surrender position, and then up to the sky, back to the surrender, hands forward, out to the sides, and down. Keep watching and do this exercise with me as we're doing it. We're going to do this 5 times in total. Now you want to do this slowly and deliberately, keeping these 90-degree angles at all times. Here's the last one. This is a great exercise to work your rotator cuff muscles, not just your main deltoids. We'll talk a little bit more about that in the break. And here's the last rep, number 5, up to the sky. Doing this exercise slowly and deliberately as we go. Okay, lay down on the floor, just like in the crunch position with your feet held, with your feet bent. And you want to just create a flat plank with your body by raising your pelvis up. Hold it in the air for about a second and bring it back down. We're going to do 12 pelvic raises. Do them nice and slowly. You don't want to bring your butt onto the ground at any time and rest it, but rather just have it brush the ground and back up. And then hold it for a second with your body straight from your knees to your shoulders, one straight line. And continue. Alright, we're now going to do some side bridges, which are also core muscles, our obliques. So you want to lay down on one forearm, and we're just going to raise our hips up a little bit to create a straight line between your feet to your head. We're going to do 10 times on each side. And this is a muscle that works both your shoulder muscle that you're on and your oblique abs that we did yesterday with our oblique sit-ups. As always, we switch sides, do both sides equally. So now we're going to do 10 pelvic raises on the other side. Sorry, side bridges. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. If this hurts you on your forearm, you could put a pillow under if you'd like. Alright, we're now going to do some calf raises. You can do this on a stair or just on the floor. Get something to help you. Get a chair to help you for your balance. What you're just going to do is stand up to your toes as high as you can, hold it for a second, and come back down. You don't want to use the chair to help push yourself up, just for balance. In total, we're going to do 12 calf raises. As we progress through this 2020 challenge, we're going to do a few more one-sided calf raises, so on one leg. But we're going to start easy here, working our way up. Alright, we're done our 12 calf raises. It's now time to do a Superman. So you want to get on your hands and knees with 90-degree angles between your arms and your torso and your thighs and your calves. And what you want to do with one leg back and one arm forward, your opposite leg, opposite arm, is just raise them a little bit off the ground, creating a straight line between your hand, your back, and your leg, as straight as possible. We're going to do 10 on each side, and then switch sides. Now your right leg back, left arm forward, and slowly raise them up. 10 on each side. This is a great exercise to work your lower back muscles. A lot of people have lower back pain, so this is a good exercise to strengthen those lower back muscles and help prevent some of that lower back pain. Here we are, we're done 10 on each side, and now you can stretch your back up by sitting down on your heels with your arms forward. We are done, set number 1. Stretch it out a little bit. We are right away going to be ready for set number 2. Into the shoulder sequences, just like we did with set number 1. Now when we're talking about those shoulder sequences, your shoulder muscle is incredibly interesting because on the outside is the main shoulder muscle called your deltoids. And this pulls your shoulder up most of the time, but on the inside of those deltoids, there's a very complex joint comprised of a number of muscles that are pulling your arm bone or the humerus bone in different directions. Let's start our exercises, start our shoulder sequences. Do them together with me, nice and slow. Arms to the surrender, hands forward, out to the sides and down. And as we're doing this exercise, what you're working here is not only your deltoids, or your main muscle that you see on the outside of your shoulders, but also those inner rotator cuff muscles that are sometimes neglected and get very easily injured or torn. Shoulder pain is very common in middle-aged to older population, and one of the main causes of shoulder pain is called rotator cuff syndrome, where you have some kind of inflammation or partial tear or even a full tear in one of those rotator cuff muscles. So doing this exercise, you're really putting an emphasis on that rotator cuff and working it to help prevent pain. Alright, we are done our shoulder sequences. We're now going to get into our pelvic raises. Once again, laying on your back with your knees bent, hands by your side or on your chest, however you'd like, and raise that pelvis to the air, creating a straight line between your shoulders and knees. 12 in total, nice and slow, deliberate movements. This exercise is also known as the Michael Jackson. 12 in total, here's number 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Great job. We're now going to do our side bridges, where we're doing a similar pelvic raise, but on our sides. Once again, if this is tough on your arm or you feel pain in your elbow, get another pillow or blanket underneath your arm for support. 10 in total. Here's number 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and as always, we switch sides, so turn yourself around or just roll over, whichever is more comfortable. 10 more on the other side. Now this is an exercise that it's very easy to lose your balance while you're doing. But what's keeping you balanced during this exercise are your stomach muscles and your back muscles. So if you need to do slower or even less reps, do that, but keep yourself balanced. Because as long as you keep your muscles tight, that's one of the most important part. Alright, we're going to get into some calf raises now, so get a chair. 2 legs, we're going to do our calf raises on 2 legs, 12 in total. If this is too easy, you can either add reps, or you can try doing 6 on each foot separately. Here's number 7, nice and slow. 8, 9, again, get as high as you can and hold yourself up there for a second. 11, and 12. Get that chair out of the way on your hands and knees. Left leg back, right arm forward. And bring them up 10 times, nice and slow. As always, we switch sides, working both sides. We never want to work just one muscle. Number 8, 9, and 10. Stretch it out. We are done. Set number 2. Great job, everybody. Stay with it. We got one more set to go today to finish off our exercise session. You can check a different number of back stretches that I'm doing here. One is the cobra. The other is when we have our hands on the floor sitting on our heels, kind of like the fetal position. Especially if you're not used to working out your back muscles will start hurting very quickly. So it's important to use the ladder approach and get into these exercises slowly and less reps at the beginning. Do them properly. Shake out your muscles a little bit, and we're ready to get into set number 3. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, and the shoulder sequence. Nice and slow, 5 in total. Remember, precision is the key here, so you want to work with 90-degree angles in your arms. Bring them up to the sky, down to surrender, hands forward, out to the sides, and down. Here's number 3. Now keep in mind when you're doing this, as you are letting your arms swing back down, do it slowly and provide the resistance to make sure that they don't just fall. Here's the last one, number 5. And we're done. Let's get on the floor and do some pelvic thrusts or Michael Jackson's. Bend your knees and bring your pelvis up, creating a straight line from your knees to your shoulders. Create that plank and tighten your core. We're doing 12 pelvic raises in total. Great job. Let's get into the side bridge. Laying on your side, on your forearm, and just raise your pelvic to create a straight line from your head down to your toes. The other way of doing this side plank is just holding yourself up there. And you can do this for half a minute or 20 seconds, whatever you feel comfortable with. That's an ab exercise. Here we're working a little bit both the legs and our abs, not just holding it in place, but creating that thrust. Another one of the muscles we're using with this exercise is your gluteus medius muscle. Your glutes, or your butt muscles, you have 3 main ones: your gluteus maximus, medius, and minimus. And the maximus is obviously the bigger one, the outermost layer, the medius is the middle, and the minimus is the smallest and innermost layer. Now the medius muscle is in charge of your balance as you're walking or running. And so it's very important to keep this muscle strong, because if not, you might be limping, or as you get older, you're going to start feeling some problems as you walk. Let's get into some calf raises with a chair. We're doing 12 calf raises. Once again, holding them up in the air for about a second. Last but not least, the last exercise of the day, we're doing our Supermans. So get down on all fours, left leg back, right arm up, and 10 times we want to lift them up, trying to create somewhat of a straight line, or as straight as possible, between your hand, torso, leg, down to your foot. You can see my line is not perfect here, but if you want to do this stretch in the mirror, or this exercise in the mirror, you can see and fix yourself to make sure it is as straight as possible. And number 10, great job. We are done for today. Let's stretch it out a bit, keeping your hands flat on the floor. Bring your bum back and sit down on your ankles. Take some deep breaths in this position. If you want, you can also put your hands by your sides as you do this. And the cobra is also a great stretch for the back. Keeping your hands on the floor, bring your pelvis to the floor and put your head back with sticking your chest out forwards. Now walk your hands back as you have your legs straight and stretch out that lower back and those hamstrings. Alright, let's do a quick cool down. It's a bit of a tough exercise today. I hope it felt good for you guys. Shake out your muscles a little bit. Let's do some head rolls. And as you do this, you want to take some deep breaths. Deep breaths, getting your heart rate back down. We talked a little bit about this yesterday. As we're doing circuit training, do some shoulder rolls now. When we're doing circuit training, we're getting our heart rate up and keeping it up throughout the whole circuit. And so we don't want to rest too much between exercises. Let's now stretch out our arms, bringing one across the body, holding the other elbow towards us. 3 deep breaths with each stretch. You want to hold these stretches anywhere from 10 to 15 seconds. If you worked extra hard on a muscle, then feel free to do the stretch twice or even 3 times, whatever you need. We're going to stretch our triceps now, so bring your arm behind your head and pull down on your elbow, pushing your elbow back with your head. Always stretching both sides equally. Balance is the key here. When we do one side, we do the other side right afterwards. Alright, we're going to now do some forearm stretches because of the Superman that we did. You can keep your hands straight out forward and pull back on your fingers. You can do this with your fingers up and down. It's good to alternate so that you get most of the stretch. You can also do this with your palms facing forward or your palms facing back, and you can push down on your toes instead. Let's do that hip flexor exercise that we learned yesterday. 1 step forward, push your hips forward. And the other side. Once again, the key to this stretch is pushing your pelvis forward. Your legs don't have to be very far apart. Now we're going to stretch our quadricep muscles. Day 2, yesterday we did a lot of quadriceps, so make sure you get this stretch in. Hold your toes and push your pelvis forward once again. You can do this holding onto a chair for balance or just standing. There's a way to do this also lying down. If you know this, you can also, this is good as well. And let's stretch out our hamstrings and lower back. So let your body hang down, let the weight of your body pull yourself down with straight legs. 3 deep breaths, and with each time you exhale, you want to let your body fall down just a little bit more. Down on the ground, we're going to stretch our glutes now. So you want to have one leg stretched, or one leg straight out, the other leg crossed over, and hug your knee towards your chest. Taking some deep breaths as you do this. Switch legs. Now your left leg over your right leg and hug your knee, bring it into your chest. Once again, if we're doing this too fast, pause the video and do these stretches slowly, making sure that you stretch your muscles properly, taking deep breaths as you do it. Great job today guys. You guys really came through. Consistency is the key. Make sure you're doing at least 20 minutes every day. This 2020 challenge is just at the beginning, but you guys keep it up and you are going to feel getting stronger in no time. We will see you tomorrow. Once again, great job.